Today is May 3rd, 2021, and today we celebrate the feast of Saints Philip and James, apostles. And we celebrate them together, not because they necessarily did something together or were martyred together, but today is the day that their relics were brought to the city of Rome. So they celebrate their feast days on the same day. And so we know St. Philip, especially from the Gospel of John. He is featured prominently in that, and we hear him speak to Jesus today in our Gospel when he says, "Lord, show us the Father, and that will be enough." And then James, sometimes called James the Less, though he's not less in any way, James is known traditionally as being the cousin of Jesus, and also the first leader of the church in Jerusalem, as well as being the first apostle to be martyred. We have that account as well in the Acts of the Apostles. But we celebrate apostles' feast days throughout the whole year. And it's actually neat because they're almost spread out one per month. Not quite, because during Lent we don't celebrate as many of those feast days. But it's almost as though the church wants to remind us every month and every year of these apostles, of the first followers of Jesus, of those who kind of show us what it means to be disciples, to those who show us what it means to follow Jesus, but also to show us and to remind us that they were human beings, that they were flawed, that they had their own baggage to deal with. And we see that today with St. Philip when he asks Jesus, "Lord, show us the Father and that'll be enough." And that frustrates Jesus because he says, "Philip, I've been with you for so long and you do not know me." You do not know me because he says that I'm in the Father and the Father is in me. All that Jesus does, he does through his Father. They do together in tandem. And like Philip, like the apostles, we can misunderstand a lot. We can be kind of slow on the uptake with Jesus. And the good news is that Jesus still calls these men, these people who are flawed human beings, to follow him, to be his disciples, and to spread the good news. Our psalm says that their word has gone out through all the earth, and that's true because through the apostles and their preaching and down the ages, the word of the gospel has reached our ears. But we're called to do those good works that Jesus does and the works of the Father, and greater works even than that, because as Jesus tells us, we can do greater works even when he's gone, because he is with the Father now, and he has given the power to his church to do these great works. So I think today we can ask the Lord for a greater zeal, a greater enkindling of his Holy Spirit within us, to remind us that although we are weak and flawed human beings, we have been chosen instruments of God the Father to work through the Spirit of his Son Jesus to bring his power and love to all the world.